Thank you. Welcome to me. Onto your screens, onto your headphones, depending how you're watching this. I'm Eddie, and this is The Rollback. Folks, I'm going to talk to you today about Death on the Nile, aka there's a cannibal on board. And if you get that joke, I love you forever. So, Death on the Nile is the cooling down period after Murder on the Orient Express. Hercule Poirot is tasked with being a bodyguard, or I guess just to watch the backs of two particularly rich people who just so happen to have gotten married 6 weeks after meeting each other, who are being stalked by the ex of the man in the relationship. It's slightly complicated. Here's the thing though. Death on the Nile very much feels like a cool down period after the great film that was Murder on the Orient Express. Whereas this one feels a bit dragged out, a bit too long, with some lame CGI. It's not by any means a bad film, but it's very boring. It's almost like it's missing something, which is nuts because you would think that a murder set on a boat would actually be somewhat entertaining. You would expect that with this ensemble cast it would be great, but there's just something missing there. Maybe it's because the murders were too obvious. In Murder on the Orient Express, it becomes very apparent the murderer is, well, frankly, everyone. They're all in on it at the same time, which is a bit of a game-breaking move. That's typically like a third part kind of move where it's like, oh, the murder was everyone. In this one, luckily, the murder was not everyone. I would have been pissed. But the murderers are the people that we knew from the beginning. The new husband who wants to inherit all the money from the heiress, and his ex-fiancée, now I guess soon to be new wife / his Juliet, because, you know, they unalive each other. It's just an odd film because there is no like, holy crap, it's this person's murder. Granted, this movie is based off a very old book, but here's the thing. You can take liberties with that book and change the murder to fit the crime. Or, I don't know, this movie just didn't ring well, and I'm not sure why. Maybe it's because it took over 45 minutes for the actual murder to take place and for the case to begin. Maybe we just didn't like the ensemble cast as much as the first one, but there's just something about this film that just feels off the entire time. I don't love this film, not as much as Murder on the Orient Express. To be honest, I've only ever seen it twice. Once to do this review and once when it premiered, and that's it. And that's because I watch Murder on the Orient Express at least once a year. I don't know, this movie is just not one of those. Oddly enough, I think the movie starts with its best part, which is the origin of Hercule Poirot's mustache, which is interesting, honestly, very entertaining, but I wish I kept up that energy because it just, I don't know why, something just doesn't feel right about Death on the Nile. It doesn't hit the same highs as Orient Express. Maybe it's paced too long, maybe there's too much needless jargon with the 20s, 30s dancing sequences, I'm not sure. The movie just doesn't feel quite right. It feels void of a soul or heart. Maybe that's just me. But who knows? Maybe I'm wrong. What do you all think? Go ahead and comment down below. We'd greatly appreciate it. And yeah, we'll catch you all later. See everyone.